Chapter 961, Unprecedented Contest. Haha, I finally succeeded. Coming out of the underground cave, Fang Yuan's face was filled with joy. During this period, he had exerted all of his effort into deducing this immortal killer move. He had finally obtained some results today. This new killer move used Eat Strength Immortal Goo, Pulling Mountain Immortal Goo, and Pulling Water Immortal Goo as the cores, with 330,000 supplementary mortal goo. He formed an extravagant combination that would stun another person. To activate this killer move, Fang Yuan had to focus wholeheartedly for 2 hours, activating this set of goo worms. Then, going through 3 days and nights without rest, he could gradually transform his living body into an immortal zombie body, or transform his immortal zombie body into a living body. Even though it was not as convenient as Nirvana Fire, Fang Yuan had reached his limits by getting such progress. Fang Yuan was very satisfied with this result. After all, Fang Yuan only had so many Strength Path Immortal Goo. He could use all of them here thanks to the Light of Wisdom. Of course, it was because he had Nirvana Fire as the blueprint. If he did not have Nirvana Fire, or the set of goo worms to research that were lent by Blazing Heaven Demonis, Fang Yuan would not have been able to obtain a Strength Path version in such a short time. Also, Fang Yuan had Wisdom Path Grandmaster attainment level. Because of all these reasons, a minor miracle was created. Next, I have to use those Strength Path Immortal Zombies and exert Strength Goo to form my high-grade Life and Death Blessed Land to revive. Fang Yuan sighed internally. After searching for so long, he had finally reached this stage. As for Luo Pa Valley, Tai Bai Yun Sheng had repaired it not long ago. Fang Yuan gave it a try. Cultivating inside Luo Pa Valley, it was indeed the sole cultivation sacred land that was on par with Dang Hun Mountain. Paired with Dang Hun Mountain's Guts Goo, Fang Yuan's soul cultivation was advancing by leaps and bounds. But now, Fang Yuan knew that the most important thing was to revive. His soul cultivation could be placed aside now. He did not need to engage in it. Fang Yuan could almost not hold in his urge, but just as he was about to start, he received Blazing Heaven Demonis letter. The contents caused his revival plan to pause. Rank 8, Great Strength, True Martial Immortal Zombie? When Fang Yuan saw this line, his heart pounded. The information that Blazing Heaven Demonis gave him was regarding the nameless mountain in southern border. This matter was too big now. It concerned an immortal goo house. It had spread throughout the entirety of southern border's goo immortal world. In southern border, there was a Zombie Alliance branch as well. Thus, as the leader of the Northern Plains Zombie Alliance branch, Blazing Heaven Demonis quickly got hold of the news. Blazing Heaven Demonis has great ambitions. She knows that I have fixed immortal travel. Thus she observed the events over all 5 regions. As a higher-up of Zombie Alliance, she could collect information more easily than Fairy Li Shan. Fang Yuan felt his weakness in intelligence gathering once again. In his previous life, he had an organization and network. His developed blood path goo worm techniques could replace the use of most information path methods. But in this life, Fang Yuan used his previous life's memories together with intelligence, mainly from people like Fairy Li Shan and Lang Yalan Spirit. As more and more unexpected surprises occurred, Fang Yuan was starting to feel that his previous life's memories were beginning to become unreliable. The truth of history was often hidden in deep fog. What Fang Yuan saw in his previous life was only what had been exposed and was seemingly true on the surface. Even for matters that he had experienced personally, they might not have been as simple as he thought. The reasons for the occurrence of many events were complicated. In my previous life, I had a tough time. I slowly climbed up from the bottom. My network and resources were accumulated slowly. Thus I had no obvious weaknesses. But after rebirth, I have obtained opportunities one after another. My strength rose rapidly, or rather, explosively. Thus, in many aspects, I could not keep up. It seems that I have to use more information path methods to collect intelligence. For the time being, I can rely on outsiders like Blazing Heaven Demonis. But in the long run, I need to rely on myself. Fang Yuan contemplated. Lack of information meant losing many opportunities. Like just now, Fang Yuan did not know the situation. He was kept in the dark. He almost missed this fortuitous encounter completely. 3 days later, Fang Yuan went alone to southern border, approaching the nameless mountain. blazing heaven demoness was still in Dark Flow Giant City. She had told Fang Yuan in the letter that she was busy refining goo and setting up the immortal goo formation. She could not leave. But when necessary, she would come to take action. As for He Lu Lan and Fairy Li Shan, they were in northern plains, using Luo Pa Valley to cultivate their souls and increase their foundation. They had an intense interest towards the immortal goo house, but their northern plains aura made it difficult for them to roam southern border. Fang Yuan came here to obtain intelligence. Even though he had become a goo immortal in northern plains, he had the concealment of vaguely familiar face. Ordinary goo immortals could not expose him. On the nameless mountain, once in a while, phantom images would reappear. Bai Ning Bing was nowhere to be found. Fang Yuan watched it 3 times over and pondered over it before moving, getting close to the nameless mountain. As expected, like what blazing heaven demoness said in the letter, this place was a forbidden zone for immortals. The deeper Fang Yuan went, the more he felt his limbs going weak. He felt that his immortal aperture was being pressured by a formless force. Fang Yuan had to stop in his tracks. He knew that if this continued, his immortal aperture would be destroyed before he took 50 or 60 steps. That would not do. He had to use his strength path immortal aperture to create the life and death immortal aperture. Fang Yuan had to retreat to AT this time. He heard a tender laughter from behind him. Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk. He immediately turned around, only to see a beautiful woman, dressed in pink and red. Her hair was tied up and her skin was white like snow. Her eyes were alluring and watery. She was standing nearby, looking at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan did not dare to be careless. This woman was oozing with goo immortal aura. She was a rank 6 goo immortal. Seeing Fang Yuan's gaze, this beautiful woman introduced herself. I am Li Meihua. People call me Granny Meihua. Handsome lad. You look very unfamiliar. Where do you cultivate? Fang Yuan smiled. He thought, so she is Granny Meihua. Even though Fang Yuan had never seen Granny Meihua personally, he had seen her granddaughter, that demonic path female goo master, who may to care for beauty was natural for women. There was no relation between the age and appearance of goo immortals. Right now, Fang Yuan wore a green robe, and his sleeves were large and wide. The wind blew, and his robe fluttered, moving like a war banner. In Fang Yuan's disguise, he had a rank 6 goo immortal aura. He was tall and skinny, having a middle-aged appearance with a tall nose bridge, slim eyes, and his pupils radiated with faint traces of jade green light. He gave off an eerie aura, as if he was not to be trifled with. Even though he was not good-looking, he had quite a disposition. Granny Meihua, I have long since heard of you. I am Xingying. I am just a simple wanderer. Fang Yuan replied. Xingying. Li Meihua memorized this name. She could not remember such a person in southern border. However, she did not find it strange. Hearing Fang Yuan's introduction, she knew that he was a lone cultivator. Southern border had many mountains. Countless experts were in seclusion. Many lone cultivators never showed themselves. Nobody knew about them. But because of the immortal goo house, goo immortals one after another were attracted and had come over. Fang Yuan, who was disguised as Xingying, was just one of them. These last days, Li Meihua had contacted many goo immortals similar to Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was slightly suspicious towards Li Meihua's warm attitude in approaching him. Fang Yuan was about to ask. When Li Meihua told him the reason, Fang Yuan realized at once. Li Meihua invited Fang Yuan to travel together. After thinking about it, he agreed. He followed Li Meihua and moved out, settling down at Headless Mountain, which was 1,000 li away. When Fang Yuan got there, there were already many demonic path or lone immortals on the mountain. Seeing Fang Yuan, many cast curious gazes, while some has grim or ruthless expressions, because they did not know Fang Yuan's background. No goo immortals spoke to him yet, but Granny Meihua was quite popular. The moment she returned, someone smiled. Li Meihua, you brought another one? Ha ha ha. This time, we demonic and lone cultivators have gathered to negotiate with the righteous path. Granny Meihua has made the most contribution towards it. Oh no, I am flattered. I am just doing my best to help. Li Meihua smiled as she greeted and interacted with the people around here one after another. She managed the individual relationships with great ease. Let me introduce you. This is Brother Xingying. He is a lone immortal. After talking to everyone, Li Meihua introduced Fang Yuan to them. So you are Brother Sheng. Immediately, a demonic path Gu Immortal cupped his fists. I am Zhong Hezi. I see that Sir cultivates transformation path. Oh, my name is Lan Tian Hong. I am also a lone cultivator. Fang Yuan showed a look of being poor at socializing, barely interacting with them. After some short talks, Headless Mountain returned to being peaceful like before Fang Yuan arrived. Li Meihua did not stay on the mountain for long. She had to return to the nameless mountain and wait for more people. She pointed at a mountain before leaving, telling Fang Yuan, that Pinetail Mountain is the base camp of the righteous path Gu Immortals. Even without her pointing it out, the intense Gu Immortal aura on that mountain had already informed Fang Yuan. After separating from Li Meihua, Fang Yuan stayed on Headless Mountain. He did not go out often. Most of his time was spent in his cave. After all, Fang Yuan was disguised now, and vaguely familiar face was not an invincible disguise that he stayed and waited for more than 10 days. During this period, Headless Mountain and Pinetail Mountain welcomed Gu Immortals from both righteous and demonic paths. Most of them were rank 6. Whenever a rank 7 Gu Immortal came, a commotion would be created. Eventually, even rank 8 Gu Immortals arrived, a total of 4. 1 demonic path, 1 lone cultivator, and 2 of the righteous path. It formed a balance of power on both sides. The rank 8 Gu Immortals did not involve themselves every day. The Gu Immortals on both sides recommended one person each to engage in a difficult negotiation. After 7 days and nights of negotiation, they finally came to an agreement. The righteous and demonic paths, dozens of Gu Immortals set an agreement together, all around the nameless mountain. They were engaging in a grand contest that was rare even in 1,000 years. The winner of the contest would obtain the opportunity on the nameless mountain. As for the other Gu Immortals, they were not to attack the victor for the next 3 years. Chapter 962, Shaoshan, Xiaomeng. At the bottom of falling heavenly river, immortal zombie Bo Qing's eyes moved around, looking emotionlessly at Song Zixing and Yu Mu Chun at this moment. Song Zixing and Yu Mu Chun's hearts were jumping. They were facing immense pressure. They were drenched in sweat. Bo Qing was known as a pseudo-immortal venerable. During his time, he was publicly recognized as the strongest person under rank 9 venerables in the 5 regions. Even though he had become an immortal zombie after the tribulation and his immortal aperture was completely destroyed, he still had ample rank 8 immortal essence on him. Especially his sword path Dao marks, they were not destroyed. Thus, his battle strength was terrifying. The most crucial point were the Dao marks. The higher the Gu Immortals' cultivation level, the more Dao marks they had. Even if 2 people were using the same immortal Gu, the difference in Dao marks would cause different outcomes when the immortal Gu's power was amplified. Consider Qin Bai Sheng, a soul path Gu Immortal who also cultivated metal path. He did not have a single sword path Dao mark on him, but when he used 5-finger fist heart sword, he could fight Feng Jiu Gu on equal grounds. Right now, none of Bo Qing's immortal Gu were damaged. Together with his vast number of sword path Dao marks, he could display unimaginable might. He could almost replicate the glory that he had when he was alive. Thus, Bai Tsang Shui, 7-star child, and the others had no chance to resist him. Not to mention Song Zixing and Yu Mu Chun. The higher the rank of the Gu Immortal, the greater the difference. Between ranks 7 and 8, the difference in Dao marks was like heaven and earth. Between ranks 6 and 7, there might be those who are evenly matched occasionally. But when rank 8 fought against rank 7, it was almost always a one-sided fight. When rank 9 fought rank 8, it would be as simple as stepping on an ant. Facing immortal zombie Bo Qing, Song Zixing, and Yu Mu Chun had no way to retaliate. Am I going to die today? What will we do? What will we do? The 2 of them felt their bodies going cold. Countless thoughts were churning in their minds. Looking at this situation, they had almost no hope. Bo Qing raised his finger. Pointing at Song Zixing, a thin sword light flashed. Song Zixing did not even try to escape. He faced death with a bitter smile, because he knew that in front of Bo Qing, escaping was completely futile. Bo Qing pointed at Yu Mu Chun. No. I am unresigned. I cannot die. Yu Mu Chun shouted loudly. In the moment between life and death, he took out an immortal Gu. Immortal zombie, Bo Qing's movements froze. His face started to show a struggling expression that Yu Mu-chun's heart was pounding loudly. He started at Bo Qing's changing face anxiously. Immortal zombie, Bo Qing's expression turned from impassive to confused. He showed pain, hatred, and sadness. He was like a traffic light that was rapidly changing in color. Eventually, his expression turned lively. There was some intelligence shining in his eyes. It was like a person with dementia suddenly recovering his senses. He looked at his hand and looked around at the brutal, bloody scene. In the end, he looked towards Yu Mu-chun, asking hesitantly, "You are?" Yu Mu-chun's body was full of cold sweat. He replied weakly like he had lost all his strength. "You are finally awake, Mo Yao. It seems that I made the right gamble. It was so close, so close." It turned out that the remnant soul inside immortal zombie Bo Qing's body was Mo Yao's remnant soul. That Yu Mu-chun's immortal goo awakened Mo Yao's remnant soul. It caused the heaven's will which was inside the immortal zombie's mind to be pushed out. Without the manipulation of heaven's will, immortal zombie Bo Qing stopped attacking. That Yu Mu-chun took several deep breaths as he continued. "Remember our conversation back then. In order to revive Bo Qing, hearing her lover's name, Mo Yao's remnant soul shook. She manipulated the immortal zombie body, nodding as she interrupted Yu Mu-chun. Then what should I do now?" Yu Mu-chun looked at Seven-Star Child and Song Zixing's corpses, sighing that if they were still alive, together with Yu Mu-chun, the three of them could use an immortal killer move and teleport all of the immortals to Central Continent's northeast area. Heavenly Lotus sect was in control of that area, but now that Seven-Star Child and Song Zixing were dead, Yu Mu-chun could only settle for dealing with combat immortal sect, giving up on attacking Heavenly Lotus sect. "I hope that they can be stalled." Yu Mu-chun took a glance in Heavenly Court's direction, feeling deeply worried. Heavenly Court, Heaven Overseeing Tower. Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord's expression was dark. He was filled with anger that he looked at the image. Yu Mu-chun cooperated with immortal zombie Bo Qing and was going to attack one of the 10 great ancient sects of Central Continent. Combat immortal sect. He could no longer watch idly. Even though he was a goo immortal from Heavenly Lotus sect, combat immortal sect was still a sect underneath Heavenly Court. Right now, immortal zombie Bo Qing had awakened. Combat immortal sect was in danger. Only Heavenly Court goo immortals could save them. Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord flew out of Heaven Overseeing Tower, summoning Lian Jiusheng and Bai Chen Tian. "An issue has occurred in Falling Heavenly River. Bai Tsang Shui is dead. Bo Qing revived as an immortal zombie and is attacking combat immortal sect. We have to reinforce them now." The two immortals were extremely shocked. Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord's words contained information that was simply too hard to believe. "Go." The two immortals were only stunned momentarily. Immediately after, they reacted and the three immortals used Heavenly Court's teleportation goo formation and appeared at combat immortal sect's base in a moment. Looking at the northwest direction, the sky was clear as a grand sword light flew over rapidly that a battle of rank 8s was right before their eyes. Southern border, Light Mountain. Light Mountain was more than 2.5 kilometers tall. The light path goo worms produced on the mountain were well known over the whole of southern border. This mountain had been in the control of a single force for the last 1,000 years, Shao Clan. Rumors had it that southern borders Shao Clan and western deserts Shao Clan were of the same origin. 1,000 years ago, there was an internal conflict within western deserts Shao Clan, resulting in the losing side leaving and moving to southern border. Southern border's Shao Clan was once a super force, but its final remaining goo immortal, Shao Clan's Supreme Elder, had not appeared for the last 100 years. It caused Shao Clan to fall from a super force to a large-scale force. Shao Clan's current leader, Shao Shan, stood on a mountain slope. He looked at Shao Clan's main base partway up the mountain as he showed dejection and hatred in his eyes that a figure ran up the mountain rapidly, landing beside Shao Shan, paying respects to him. Shao Zifeng greets Lord Clan Leader. "That Wu Hui, is he still causing trouble?" Shao Shan asked in a low voice. Clan Elder Shao Zifeng lowered his head, reporting to Clan Leader, "Wu Hui is still screaming in the hall, requesting us to hand over the culprit that killed his son. The other elders are still holding the ground. Don't worry, Clan Leader." Shao Shan snorted coldly. He gritted his fists. Wu Hui's son was the one with ill intentions, trying to target Shao Chui'er, My daughter was just defending herself. This Wu Hui is actually using Wu clan to cause a ruckus in Shao clan's discussion hall. Clan leader, all will be fine if we endure this. Wu Hui is not a problem, but Wu clan is very powerful. We cannot resist them. Xiao Zifeng quickly urged. Xiao Shan's clenched fists loosened. He sighed deeply. His face was full of fatigue and bitterness. He waved to Xiao Zifeng. Forget it. I will hide at the back of the mountain for the time being. Xiao Zifeng took his leave, vanishing into the forest below. Xiao Shan sighed at the sky again. His mind was filled with gloominess and anger. He could not calm himself. But at this moment, he suddenly heard a voice resounding in his mind. Come here, my descendant. Who is it? Xiao Shan was suspicious and uncertain. This voice spoke again. Come here, my descendant. This voice was very familiar to Xiao Shan. He followed the voice's direction, entering deep into the region at the back of the mountain, until he reached Shao clan's forbidden area. This is Shao clan's forbidden area. Even as the leader of Shao clan, I have no authority to enter it. Xiao Shan stopped moving. He was very troubled. That voice rang in his mind again. My descendant, you inherited my bloodline. Why are you so timid? I am Shao clan's ancestor, a Gu immortal of Shao clan. Quickly come and receive my inheritance. The mission to strengthen our clan is yours to bear. Xiao Shan's eyes shined. His body was trembling in agitation. Gu immortal, Shao clan's ancestor. Were the rumors true? My Shao clan has had a Gu immortal before. This voice is so familiar to me. I am a rank 5 peak stage Gu master. Other than Gu immortals, who in this world can transmit their voices into my mind directly? But this is forbidden area in the clan. Anyone who steps into this place will be exiled from the clan. Even as the leader, I am no exception. Xiao Shan thought of this and clenched his fists tightly. He was engaged in an intense internal struggle. No, I must get the ancestors' inheritance. Wu Hui has caused our Shao clan to lose face. If Wu clan voices out their support of Wu Hui, will I be able to protect my daughter? Wu clan is so overbearing and forceful. Rumors says that they have Wu clan's Gu immortals backing them. If I can receive the inheritance and become a Gu immortal, I will definitely be able to raise Shao clan's reputation and change everything. Xiao Shan's face shined with determination. He hesitated no longer. He walked into the forbidden area. Under the guidance of the voice, he reached a cave, seeing an immortal Gu inside the cave. Before he reacted, the immortal Gu turned into a mystical light and fused into his body. This Gu worm's aura is preventing me from moving at all through power alone. Is this a legendary immortal Gu? Xiao Shan was surprised and joyful, but when he inspected his body, the immortal Gu was nowhere to be seen. He could not find it anywhere. And at this time, the voice in his head vanished completely. Xiao Shan felt trepidation and deep suspicion as he walked out of the mountain's forbidden area. Brother, right now, Wu clan's elder is here to cause trouble. But you as the leader violated our rules and sneaked into our clan's forbidden area. You are not fit to be the clan leader. Xiao Mang suddenly appeared, bringing with him a larger number of Shao clan elders. Xiao Shan realized the situation was turning bad. He knew that his twin brother had great ambitions. He had been coveting his position as clan leader. This is not what you think. Xiao Shan wanted to explain himself, but he could not explain himself clearly. He was unwilling to casually mention the Gu immortal inheritance. He was afraid that other forces or experts would try to take it away by force. Your explanations are just excuses. According to the clan rules, you are no longer a member of Shao clan. The position of clan leader is mine. Xiao Mang shouted. His expression was ruthless and furious. Excitement and ambition was hidden deep inside his eyes. Chapter 963. Etian Mountain. The speed of the sword light was beyond belief as it cut through the air. However, Heavenly Pool, the location of Heavenly Lotus sect, was still far away beyond the horizon. The sword light dissipated, revealing Bo Qing's immortal zombie body and Yu Mu Chan. The immortal zombie Bo Qing, which was controlled by Mo Yao's remnant soul, was now frowning with a sharp gaze as he used sword light to sweep the surroundings. The sword light was incomparably sharp. Everywhere it went, space rippled and illusions shattered, revealing the true scene. However, a breath of time later, the true scenery was covered by layers and layers of illusions again. This is Heavenly Lotus. Sects Immortal Gu House, Illusion Garden, which is built on the foundation of Illusion Path and was created over 300 years ago by illusion demon Immortal Huang Shao. Yumu Chun immediately explained that Bi-O Qing's immortal zombie body nodded, sighing. Every age brings forth new geniuses. It seems many geniuses have appeared in Central Continent after my main body's death. Yumu Chun spoke. Illusion demon immortal has already died. This immortal Gu house could beguile and trap us so stealthily that we were only able to realize now. The person who is controlling it should have a very high cultivation. Just as he said this, Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord, Bai Chen Tian and Lian Jiusheng appeared. Escaping fate is already a great sin. Now, you are thinking of attacking the sects under Heavenly Court. This is unpardonable. Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord immediately shouted, "You talk too much." Immortal zombie Bo Qing was furious. He waved his arm. A terrifying sword light quickly slashed. Heaven Overseeing Tower Lord, Bai Chen Tian and Lian Jiusheng cried out as they activated their immortal killer moves. The sword light was unstoppable. It broke all the killer moves of the three immortals. Its might had decreased for the most part in doing this, but it still was able to charge towards them. The three immortals disappeared without a trace, evading this strike. Cowards. Immortal zombie Bo Qing snorted, extremely displeased that Yumu Chun's eyes shined with sharp radiance. But he let out a sigh of relief inwardly. The three Heavenly Court immortals were controlling the immortal Gu House Illusion Garden, combining the strength of 3 rank 8s, using this to be able to trap Bo Qing's immortal zombie body and Yumu Chun in it. Time passed. Several days later, southern border, on the nameless mountain. Bam, bam, bam. 3 explosions resounded, and bright light blossomed. Xiao Mang was sent flying. Blood spurted out from his mouth while in the air. Bam! A muffled sound echoed. He did not crash on the ground, but was instead caught by the elders behind him with some difficulty. Defeated, Xiao Mang's face was pale as paper. He opened his eyes wide, staring fixedly at Xiao Shan with hatred and anger. Behind Xiao Shan stood 2 demonic path Gu masters, both rank 5 experts, one tall and fat, another short and thin. Several days ago, Xiao Shan had set foot in the forbidden area at the back of Light Mountain, breaking Xiao Clan's rules, and had to be punished. Xiao Mang took this chance to seize authority and kill Xiao Shan. Xiao Shan ran as quickly as he could, while Xiao Mang hunted him down with the elders. Their chase had brought them to this nameless mountain peak. Xiao Shan was in a hopeless situation with no way out. Just as he was about to be killed by Xiao Mang, 2 demonic path Gu masters descended from the sky and saved him. Xiao Mang was filled with anger at having all his efforts go to waste at the last moment. He pushed away the hands of the elders supporting him as he stood up, shouting at Xiao Shan. Xiao Shan, sure enough, you were harboring evil intentions. As a clan leader of the righteous path, you were secretly colluding with demonic path Gu masters. Xiao Shan threw his head back and laughed loudly, his laughter filled with grief and indignation. I really misjudged you. For power, you were actually willing to kill me. You have such a vicious heart. It is so funny that I always treated you as my only close relative in the world. You can distort the facts as you like, but I believe that others will easily be able to discern the truth. Lord Xiao Mang, the enemy's strength is great. We should retreat. Right, we have enough time. Xiao Shan is heavily injured and near death, but the 2 rank 5 demonic path Gu masters behind him are in good condition. The elders tried to quietly persuade him. Humph. Xiao Mang spat out some blood and said with disdain, those 2 are also nothing but stray dogs. Their cultivation might be high, but they don't have many Gu worms. What are you afraid of? Although he said this, Xiao Mang also knew that he would be unable to kill his own elder brother, Xiao Shan. Today, the dark light in his eyes flickered as he internally pondered. Right now, I already hold the upper hand and also have the basis of righteousness on my side. There is no need to go all out. After returning to Light Mountain, I can inherit the position of clan leader. At that time, I can use my identity in the righteous path to issue a warrant and bounty for Xiao Shan's head. Xiao Shan is without a clan now, and with the righteous path's warrant, he can only live as a fugitive with his strength decreasing constantly. It will be wiser if I bide my time and kill him in the future. With these thoughts, Xiao Meng did not stubbornly persist. Xiao Shan, you traitor of the righteous path, you will surely die like a dog. For now, I will spare your life. Just you wait. I will come to take it in the future. Let's go. After leaving behind these vicious words, Xiao Meng and the elders cautiously retreated. He was also injured, but he still had ample strength left. The two demonic path Gu masters did not have many Gu worms, and so did not dare to go on a reckless chase, letting them leave. Brother Xiao, we meet again. The tall and fat rank 5 demonic path Gu master was called Sun Penghu. After he saw Xiao Meng had left, he looked at Xiao Shan with tears in his eyes. The short and thin rank 5 Gu master was called Zhou Xingxing. He was supporting Xiao Shan's shoulder while activating a healing Gu worm. Talk about the past later. Heal Brother Zhao's injuries first. Xiao Shan's heavy injuries were quickly stabilized under the efforts of these 2 Gu masters. Xiao Shan had an ashen expression as he heaved a deep sigh. It is fortunate the 2 of you were here to help. Otherwise I would have died here. But my younger brother is ruthless. He will definitely try to come after me again. He won't rest until he kills me. I can heal these injuries myself. Both of you leave. I don't want to implicate you too. What are you talking about? Back then I was saved by you. My life is yours, Brother Xiao. Right? In the past, I had slaughtered an enemy's family for revenge, but was caught by Brother Xiao. When you heard my story, you let me go that very night. This kindness has always been engraved in my mind. Sun Penghu and Zhou Xingxing spoke fervently and sincerely. Neither of us will leave you. If Xiao Meng wants to battle, he can come. I will fight him to the end. Sun Penghu and Zhou Xingxing were extremely firm in their attitude. Xiao Shan was very moved. His eyes started getting moist with tears. Sigh. Over these years, I have understood this. Who says demonic path Gu masters are all ungrateful and unkind? Instead, the hypocrites who put on false pretenses of kindness can be seen everywhere in the righteous path. Brother Xiao is correct. Many of us in the demonic path stay true to our nature, and the righteous path go through all possible means to kill us. Since the righteous path won't accept you, we will be a team from now on and roam the world as part of the demonic path. Sun Penghu spoke boldly. Xiao Shan fell into silence. He still had the mindset and ideals of the righteous path embedded in him, and he did not want to join the demonic path that he knew there was an immortal Gu hidden in him. He still wanted to restore his position in Xiao clan. Zhou Xingxing was observing his expression. Brother, you may not understand. When people hear how you were expelled out of your clan and are being hunted by an insidious relative, many good people will come to help you. Brother, you have been just, upright, and have aided people in need over these years, saving others from disasters without consideration for whether they belonged in the righteous or demonic path. Everyone will be willing to help you, willing to fight for you. Xiao Shan frowned, but did not respond to at this moment. The voice appeared in his mind again. Fool, why do you need to rigidly mind the difference between righteous and demonic? Since you inherited my immortal Gu, you have the ability to create your own Xiao clan and lead it to prosperity. I will give you a task now. Listen carefully. Xiao Shan was excited and listened carefully. The voice in his mind told him that only by passing this test, he could truly earn the inheritance, getting the immortal Gu and obtaining the method to become a Gu immortal. Gather Gu masters at this mountain and create a fortified village and fight off any invading righteous path enemies. As long as it can be maintained for 100 days, I can pass the test, obtaining the immortal Gu and becoming a Gu immortal. Xiao Shan's excitement was hard to describe. He clenched his fists and his eyes shined brightly. Good, then let's go all out. Let these so-called righteous path people look at our might. Xiao Shan suddenly spoke boldly. Sun Penghu and Zhou Xingxing were very happy. After discussing for a while more, they felt a close affinity with each other, talking and drinking harmoniously. Xiao Shan saw the timing was right and suggested becoming sworn brothers. Sun Penghu and Zhou Xingxing exclaimed that this was a wonderful thing. Immediately, they chopped off a chicken's head, put drops of the blood into a single bowl of wine. Before they all drank and used Gu to make an oath after they became sworn brothers. Xiao Shan's face also regained some rosiness. He stood up and faced the breeze of the mountain as he looked at the scenery in front of him. He sighed. The Xiao Shan of the righteous path from yesterday is dead. Today, The one standing here is Xiao Shan of the demonic path. This place and I have a fated connection. It allowed me to run into the two of you. This is an arrangement of heaven. I want to build a new village on this mountain. We will welcome any demonic path Gu masters. Let's work together and band up to resist the righteous path clans. Sun Pang, whose face flushed with excitement, giving a thumbs up as he praised. Brother, you are truly a great hero with high morals. This is such a grand course of action. Zhou Xingxing spat out saliva, speaking with a dark and ruthless look. Screw it. I have been hunted everywhere by the righteous path over these years, living a life of a fugitive. I have been dissatisfied with this for a long time. Brother, I support you. We will do it like that. My good brothers. Xiao Shan grabbed the arms of Sun Pang, Hu, and Zhou Xingxing, saying, the demonic path is filled with mutual suspicion. If we are to accomplish this, we need to set aside our prejudices and doubts and believe others, abiding by a spirit of loyalty and brotherhood. Our village shall be called Tian Village. This mountain shall be called Tian Mountain. Far away, Fang Yuan sighed as he observed all these events. Indeed, this nameless mountain that hid the immortal Gu house, graceful chaotic dual stage, and the rank 8 great strength true martial immortal zombie was Tian Mountain. He had already recognized at the moment he saw this mountain. It was just that he had not expected the true reason for the battle of Tian Mountain in his previous life to be this. My status was too low back then. My vision was only limited to the mortal world. There are so many hidden details to history. Who obtained the immortal Gu house in my previous life? Fang Yuan was filled with the desire to explore this. His gaze moved down again, piercing through the soil, inspecting the immortal Gu house deep under the earth. Graceful chaotic dual stage was suppressing the great strength true martial immortal zombie. It was extremely strong, and the forbidden zone for immortals was caused by its strength seeping to the outside. Clearly, it contained the mysteries of food path. The Gu worms that formed the immortal Gu house were full and in excellent condition. And that rank 8 immortal zombie, although possessing the great strength true martial physique, its main cultivation was wisdom path. He naturally was not willing to be suppressed, and used a certain killer move, attempting to use his battle will to refine the immortal Gu house that he did not succeed. His soul thoroughly died, only leaving behind an empty shell of a body. But he did not completely fail either. There were large quantities of his battle will in the immortal Gu house. These battle wills were already purified by the immortal Gu house's strength, becoming pure and ownerless battle will. When battles occurred on Tian Mountain, the intentions of Gu masters to fight would form battle will and resonate with the battle will in the immortal Gu house. The pure battle will would then gradually turn into the Gu master's individual battle will. If someone turned all the battle will in the immortal Gu house into their own battle will, they would complete the unfinished last step of the rank 8 immortal zombie. That is, refining the immortal Gu house and becoming the true owner of the immortal Gu house. The gambling contest agreed to by the southern border Gu immortals revolved around this point. First of all, the forbidden zone for immortals had already expanded to 10,000 Li. Gu immortals were unable to personally make a move, so they could only select mortals as their representatives. Afterwards, they would form a battlefield. Only continuous fierce battles could stimulate the battle will of mortal Gu masters. Then, the bodies of mortal Gu masters would be tampered with via a simple wisdom path technique. Finally, the pure battle will in the immortal Gu house would convert into the Gu immortals' personal battle will. In conclusion, Gu immortals would choose certain mortals and turn these mortals into tools, which the Gu immortal would use to indirectly refine graceful chaotic dual stage. Xiao Shan was the person selected by the Supreme Elder of Xiao Clan, and on his body was not only the immortal Gu of Xiao Clan's Supreme Elder, there was also immortal essence and large amounts of the Supreme Elder's battle will. It was just that Xiao Shan was only immortal, only able to see the vague image of an immortal Gu, and had no awareness of the truth. Naturally, besides Xiao Shan, Xiao Mang was similarly a pawn of Xiao Clan's Supreme Elder. If it were not arranged by Xiao Clan's Supreme Elder, how could Xiao Mang coincidentally run into Xiao Shan when he stepped foot in the forbidden area? These two rank 5 Gu masters, standing at the peak of the world of Gu masters, were both in the dark, both being played in the hands of Shao Clan's supreme elder. Chapter 964, Gua Lao borrows money. Shao Shan forced Shao Clan's reinforcements into retreat, and after naming this mountain Etion Mountain, he began to invite demonic path members from all over, building up his forces. Before he was expelled from the clan, he was known for his grand morals. His social network was extremely large, and he had been popular in both the righteous and demonic path. Shao Shan's nature was straightforward. He clearly separated kindness and hatred, and emphasized close connections and loyalty. On the other side, Shao Clan was weakening, suppressed, and pressured by Wu Clan and other forces from all sides. Sometimes, even demonic path Gu masters could not be offended, especially those lone warriors with rank 4 and rank 5 cultivation. These demonic path experts were different from the righteous path experts. Demonic path experts were loners, acting without scruples, but righteous path experts were bound by morals, family, reputation, and so on. Shao Clan had established a caravan years ago to strengthen themselves. These wandering demonic path experts were treated with even more caution compared to other clans. Over these last years, Shao Shan let these demonic path Gu masters go, or rope them in if he could, but if it came down to killing, he would do it with all his strength and as fast as possible. Occasionally, he even aided some lone cultivators or demonic cultivators financially. Thus, although he was a righteous path clan leader, he had obtained the approval of many Gu masters of the demonic path. All these gave Shao Shan a strong rallying force. When the news of him creating a fortified village was spread, there were many immediate responses that a few days later, several demonic path experts traveled from far away to join Shao Shan. Moreover, the Gu immortal of southern border intensified the situation in secret, so as to easily put their own pawns in the battlefield. Thus, more and more demonic path Gu masters and lone cultivators started joining Etion village in just 6 to 7 days. Etion village already had over 30 members. Such a speed made even Shao Shan shocked and surprised as the number of people grew. They formed an organization. Any organization needed to have distinctions and status in the world of Gu masters. The strong were always revered. Among all these people, Shao Shan not only had the highest strength, he also had the highest reputation. He was chosen by everyone as Etion village's leader, stably placed at the highest ranking. His two sworn brothers, Sun Pang, Hu and Zhou Xing, respectively were placed at the second and third ranks. After all, they were rank 5 experts, having the highest strength among others. As for the other people, the vast majority were rank 2 and rank 3, with few at rank 4. Their statuses were arranged simply according to their cultivation and strength. In a mountain cave, Fang Yuan was drinking wine with a Gu immortal. This demonic path rank 6 Gu immortal was short, but had a large head. He was an old man, and his name was Gua Lao. "Here, brother Xingying, give it a sip. How is the taste of my melon wine?" Gua Lao enthusiastically urged Fang Yuan to drink. Fang Yuan knew Gua Lao's intention in coming. Without saying anything, he drank a mouthful and nodded, critiquing, "Not bad, not bad." Although he said not bad, but Fang Yuan's expression was impassive, and it was clear he had spoken only half-heartedly. While Lao was observing him, he chuckled and pointed outside. "I wonder what opinion brother Xingying has towards this grand contest of southern border?" Fang Yuan calmly replied, "Given that it concerns who graceful chaotic dual stage will belong to, no one will yield a step. Since everyone is participating in this contest and has joined the agreement, putting forth their wagers, there should not be anyone who will cause trouble. In the past, it was always the righteous path who suppressed the demonic path, whether it be in the mortal Gu master world or the Gu immortal world. But right now was an exception. The appearance of the immortal Gu house completely shook the world of southern borders Gu immortals. To seize the immortal Gu house, demonic and lone immortals emerged, forming a huge force that gave the righteous path no choice but to compromise and set up this large gambling contest. The content of the wager was to select mortals as pawns who would participate in the battle between the righteous and demonic paths in Etion Mountain, helping the Gu immortal behind them to refine the immortal Gu house. But to participate in this huge contest, there were some conditions. Any Gu immortal that wanted to participate in this gambling contest had to make a wager. Those who made larger wagers could arrange pawns with higher cultivation and enter the battle earlier. Finally, when the gambling contest ends, all the wagers would be redistributed. Each Gu immortal would be ranked according to the amount of battle will they refined. Whoever had higher quantities of battle will in the immortal Gu house would accordingly have higher returns. Naturally, one that refined over 50% of the battle will would be the winner who could activate the immortal Gu house, obtaining the highest returns from their bet. But other Gu immortals would also be able to get some profits. They might even be able to get great returns from small bets, earning a huge fortune. This condition could be considered to be superb. It was because of this that all the Gu immortals participating in the gambling contest, be it righteous path, demonic path, or lone cultivators, whether they had enmity or resentment, they all subconsciously worked together to maintain this unrivaled gambling contest. Anyone who attempted to play dirty tricks or acted shamelessly would have their wagers completely confiscated. Gu immortals who arrived later could also join in, but they had to take part in the gambling. And as the gambling contest progressed, if Gu immortals wanted to raise their bets, they could do so. And this demonic immortal Guo Lao in front of Fang Yuan was a person who wanted to raise his bet, but he lacked the capital to do so. Over these last days, he went around borrowing money, so everyone knew of it. This time, he intentionally came to find Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was giving him the cold shoulder. Guo Lao had no choice but to take the initiative to mention the gambling contest. Fang Yuan had only given a casual analysis, but Guo Lao squinted and gave a thumbs up, exaggeratedly smiling. Brother Xingying, you are right. You have hit the nail on the head. The rules of this contest cannot be broken by anyone. If anyone breaks them, it will be akin to making Gu immortals of the whole of southern border their enemies. So they need to earn capital and participate honestly in the contest. Just look at it. The contest has just started, but Shao Clan's Supreme Elder is already at the lead. Shao Shan is his pawn, and from the previous battle of Shao Shan and Shao Meng, Shao Clan's Supreme Elder has become the first to refine the battle will in the immortal Gu house. As long as Shao Shan doesn't die, his lead will continue increasing. Fang Yuan glanced at Guo Lao. Shao Shan is a rank 5 Gu master and was the first to enter the mountain. Shao Clan's Supreme Elder naturally will have a huge advantage. But he has also paid a large price for this. Although he is only a rank 7 Gu immortal, his wagers are the highest, to the extent that even rank 8 Gu immortals cannot match it. Guo Lao nodded repeatedly and grinned, revealing his yellow teeth. Yes, the earlier we can place our pawns in Etion Mountain, the more beneficial it would be. Of course, the cultivation of these pawns need to be ensured. They should at least be rank 4. Otherwise they will likely die there, and we will just suffer losses. Brother Xingying, I won't conceal it from you. I really hate not being able to put myself as a wager. I am a bit short on funds right now. Brother Xingying, could you lend me some immortal materials? Wait till this is over, and I will return double the amount. Fang Yuan smiled. Sure. Guo Lao was joyous and was just about to say his thanks when Fang Yuan said, but we need to set a vow. This is natural, and it is a must as well. Guo Lao nodded quickly. Fang Yuan continued. Also, take out an immortal Gu as collateral. Guo Lao's joyful expression immediately stiffened. Brother Xingying, is this a joke? If I had an immortal Gu, why would I go for this immortal Gu house? Fang Yuan's expression also changed. With a face filled with coldness, he glared violently and spoke. Guo Lao, you don't even have one immortal Gu, but are actually scheming for this immortal Gu house? Don't you think you are indulging in a wild fantasy? Aren't you too greedy? Xingying, you. Guo Lao was just about to flare up, but suddenly he sensed an aura of immortal Gu from Fang Yuan's body, no longer concealed. He actually has immortal Gu. Guo Lao's heart immediately sank. Many rank 6 Gu immortals did not have even one immortal Gu, but Fang Yuan did. This surpassed Guo Lao's expectations. As far as he was concerned, any Gu immortal with immortal Gu would have some reputation. But Xingying clearly did not. He had taken Fang Yuan to be a weak lone immortal, cultivating bitterly in some unvisited area of the world. But Fang Yuan had immortal Gu. This caused fear to emerge in Guo Lao's heart. With an immortal Gu, the Gu immortal's battle strength would often rise by a large extent. Xingying, with immortal Gu, was not someone Guo Lao could handle. Thus, he did not vent his anger and finally forced a smile as he cupped his fists towards Fang Yuan. I was too abrupt and rude. Brother Xingying, please don't mind it. Fang Yuan gave a cold snort. You can leave. I am leaving. Leaving now, farewell. Gua Lao smiled as he retreated a few steps, before turning around and leaving, not daring to linger. When he walked out of the cave, the smile on his face disappeared, replaced by shame and anger. His gaze was cold, as he roared in his mind. Humph. Having immortal goo is indeed amazing. I shall remember this humiliation. Wait for the day I have an immortal goo. I will return this humiliation back to you. Inside the cave, Fang Yuan was thinking. Gualao's matter made him aware of the gambling mentality of many bottom-tier goo immortals. Most of these people did not have immortal goo, so they had an extreme thirst for the immortal goo house. They all knew that success could not be built on small efforts, but when it concerned themselves, who did not want to soar to the sky with a step and get rich overnight? The gambling contest in front of them gave these goo immortals an extremely favorable environment to compete in. If it were a normal situation, for instance, finding wild immortal goo, the goo immortals would engage in fighting each other. These bottom-tier goo immortals with no immortal goo had low battle strength. How could they compete with other goo immortals? But what this gambling contest examined were other aspects, not the goo immortals' own battle strength. This gave hopes of success to the bottom-tier goo immortals. Examples like Gua Lao were not few in number. Fang Yuan then thought of Shao Clan's Supreme Elder. According to the news, this rank 7 goo immortal was facing a huge problem. He had barely gotten past extreme danger in his previous tribulation, and his strength had yet to recover. The next tribulation, which would be even more powerful, was already approaching. Shao Clan only had one goo immortal remaining. That was him. Without another goo immortal's support, he would not be able to face this tribulation by himself, and his death was almost certain. However, this gamble gave him hope of surviving, that if he obtained the immortal goo house, he would have huge assurance in getting through this tribulation. Thus, he brought out all he had and went all in on this gamble, placing the highest wagers. These wagers gave him the qualifications to select 2 pawns. Moreover, both the pawns had rank 5 cultivation. Among them, Xiao Shan was the first to enter the area of the contest. The other, Xiao Mang, would enter the stage after some more time. Xiao Shan belonged to the demonic path, and Xiao Mang belonged to the righteous path. No matter what the result between the righteous and demonic paths was, or how the process went, Shao Clan's Supreme Elder was well prepared with having these 2 arranged. The 2 rank 5 pawns had a low likelihood of death. As time passed, the advantage of Shao Clan's Supreme Elder would continue growing larger. This time, I intentionally leaked out an immortal goo's aura so as to let other goo immortals feel sufficiently cautious and not take me as a weakling. I need to properly participate in this gambling contest. The information exposed from the gambling contest is extremely valuable. It is a most precious opportunity for me to get close to the world of Southern Borders goo immortals and understand their structure. As for this gamble, maybe I can personally take action. A sharp light flashed past Fang Yuan's eyes. Chapter 965, Battle of Etian Mountain, 1/2. A forbidden zone for immortals. That was the power of graceful chaotic dual stage. This zone now covered thousands of li around Etian Mountain. Any goo immortal who went in would face huge suppression. If they entered deeply, their lives would be in danger. Before the gambling contest was set up, the Southern Border goo immortals had probed it themselves. But even the rank 8 goo immortals returned empty-handed. And because there was the outside pressure of having too many competitors, this shocking gambling contest was established. But Fang Yuan could keenly sense that this forbidden zone had a loophole. This loophole was immortal goo. Immortal goo could be used in the forbidden zone, but their power was greatly reduced. Shao Clan's Supreme Elder placed an immortal goo in Xiao Shan's body, and left behind immortal essence secretly to protect his life to an extent. After all, Xiao Shan was a bloodline descendant of Shao Clan's Supreme Elder. Immortal goo can be used in the forbidden zone, but goo immortals cannot enter. Does this forbidden zone for immortals target only the bodies of goo immortals? Fang Yuan thought of this conjecture. Then, what was the difference between immortal goo and goo immortals? Evidently, Dao marks were not the answer. Immortal goo were vessels containing Dao marks. while Gu immortals also had Dao marks in their bodies. Fang Yuan quickly thought of an answer. Immortal apertures. Maybe immortal apertures were the most crucial difference. Immortal Gu would not have immortal apertures, but Gu immortals definitely had them. If the Forbidden Zone targeted immortal apertures, then maybe Fang Yuan could make use of this loophole and attend the Battle of Etion Mountain in person. I am different from others. I have 2 apertures. Spring-Autumn Cicada is sealed in my first, mortal aperture. My second aperture is dead. Most of my Gu worms are stored inside. If I can seal my immortal aperture and become a mortal rank 5 Gu master again, will I be able to enter the Forbidden Zone for immortals? The more Fang Yuan thought about it, the more hopeful he became. Even though he did not have the method to seal an immortal aperture, he had the help of Wisdom Gu, and with his Grandmaster attainment level and Wisdom path, he could deduce it himself. Furthermore, I have the method to transplant immortal apertures, and succeeded in moving star form blessed land. This is very helpful as reference for my deduction, right? I also can look into Blazing Heaven Demonis Fire Path aperture taking method. Maybe I can gain even more inspiration from it. No, I do not need to focus on her aperture taking method. She created this fire path method after benefiting from an inheritance of old immortal Kong Ju. Maybe I can get old immortal Kong Ju's research gains from her directly. Fang Yuan's thoughts were churning rapidly. Old immortal Kong Ju, a publicly recognized refinement path supreme grandmaster, being on par with old eccentric Tian Nan and long-hair ancestor. He had the deepest research in immortal apertures and mortal apertures. In terms of depth, it was yet to be surpassed by another if he could obtain a portion of his inheritance. Fang Yuan's deduction of the immortal aperture sealing method would receive substantial and crucial help. Fang Yuan did not invest much into this gambling contest. According to the terms of the gambling contest, he could only choose a rank 3 upper stage Gu master, and this Gu master could only ascend Etion Mountain. After 3 months that he had a lot of immortal materials and had much capital to spare, he could bet heavily. But he had just arrived. If he acted rashly, other Gu immortals might covet his wealth and place attention on him. It would be dangerous if any rank 8 Gu immortals targeted Fang Yuan. Thankfully, during the process of this gambling contest, the bet could be raised at any time. The rank 8 Great Strength True Martial Immortal Zombie was important for Fang Yuan's plans. Other than that, he was also enticed by Graceful Chaotic Dual Stage. This was an immortal Gu house after all. Furthermore, this immortal Gu house involved secrets of food path. After so many years, not a single Gu worm had died of hunger that if he could obtain these secrets of food path, perhaps Fang Yuan would be able to settle his problem of feeding immortal Gu more easily. Fang Yuan stealthily left the surroundings of Etion Mountain, using fixed immortal travel to return to Hu immortal blessed land secretly in the following period of time. He kept his attention on the Battle of Etion Mountain while deducing the immortal aperture sealing method enthusiastically. The deduction of the method was very rapid, as expected and worthy of a rank 9 immortal Gu. Even though Fang Yuan was only using the light of wisdom, its help towards him was immense. Over a month later, news of the righteous and demonic battle of Etion Mountain had spread far and wide. The attentions of almost all experts and large forces had been drawn on this battle in southern border. The first wave of attacks since Shaoshan created Etion village arrived. This was an expert sent by Wu clan, the superforce closest to Etion Mountain. Wu Shintong, Wu clan elder, rank 4 peak stage, enslavement path Gu master. Enslavement path Gu masters excelled in fighting large numbers of enemies, but were more vulnerable if personally targeted and fought. Thus, Wu Shintong had 3 rank 4 Gu masters around him in protection. 2 of these 3 rank 4 Gu masters were clan leaders of villages that had submitted to Wu clan. The third was a Wu clan elder assigned to protect Wu Shintong. The beast group attacked Etion Mountain like a tide. The demonic path side had just created Etion village when it got engulfed by a beast group. Many demonic path Gu masters died, but relying on Shaoshan, Sun Peng Hu, and Zhou Xing, these 3 rank 5 Gu masters, Wu Shintong retreated with heavy injuries, and 2 rank 4 righteous path Gu masters lost their lives. Even though Wu Shintong's attack was repelled, the newly created Etion village suffered a huge blow because of this. Wu Shintong remaining alive caused Shaoshan, and the others to feel unrest. Just when the three of them were about to take a risk and go down the mountain in their injured states to kill Wu Shentong, a demonic path Gu master ascended the mountain. Furthermore, he brought Wu Shentong's head with him. This person was called Luzuan Feng. He was a rank 5 Gu master, called the Divine Thief in Southern Border. He had a demonic path Gu immortal backing him. He had once sneaked into Tai clan's demon suppression tower. Luzuan Feng relied on his infiltration methods to kill Wu Shentong and settled Etian village's crisis. The first wave of attack by the righteous path thus ended. The Wu clan was unresigned. They quickly sent the second elder to battle. In fact, he was joined by 2 of Shang clan's new elders, Yin Tu and Zhu Kai Bei. During the second battle, both sides had wins and losses. They were in a deadlock. This time, Lan Meihe and Fei Yuan ascended the mountain, joining Etian village. These 2 Gu masters were not simple. They were famous flying masters in the world of Southern Borders Gu masters. Etian village thus had the upper hand, and the Righteous Path members were forced back to resist Lan Meihe and Fei Yuan. The Righteous Path invited a female Gu master, Hong Feiyu. She was also a flying master, but belonged to the Righteous Path. But Hong Feiyu alone could not resist the combination of 2 flying masters of the demonic path. Hong Feiyu was at the moment between life and death. When Shang clan's reinforcements rushed and arrived, it was the white light swordsman Wei Yang. Wei Yang had been nurtured by Shang Yanfei and had his aptitude raised. His cultivation level was at rank 4 initial stage. Not only did he save Hong Feiyu, he even gained much fame. After Hong Feiyu was heavily injured and retreated, he fought against both Lan Meihe and Fei Yuan, eventually managing to stall for enough time until more reinforcements from the Righteous Path came, as Lan Meihe and Fei Yuan were forced to retreat. After this battle, Wei Yang was acknowledged by both the righteous and demonic paths, joining the ranks of the Flying Masters. Southern Border's 3 famous Flying Masters became 4 famous Flying Masters, with Wei Yang at the top. With Wei Yang's addition, the righteous and demonic battle entered another deadlock once again. However, as the second Zombie King entered Etian Mountain, Enslavement Path showed its might again. The Righteous Path lacked Wu Shentong and had no choice but to fall back. The second righteous and demonic battle came to an end. It seems that because of me, Etian Mountain's battle has undergone some changes. Fang Yuan watched as he compared it to his previous life, in the 500 years of his previous life. During this period, Etian Mountain should have held the upper hand firmly. This was because Wang Xiao joined Etian Mountain and killed many Righteous Path experts. He was extremely powerful and had once attempted to force Xiao Shan to give up his role in leading the demonic path. But on Sancha Mountain, Wang Xiao was killed by Fang Yuan. This caused Wang Xiao to not join Etian Mountain this time, and thus they were almost at a disadvantage against the Righteous Path. Thankfully for them, Second Zombie King arrived early and saved the demonic path's position from worsening. Second Zombie King came from the Southern Border Zombie Alliance branch. He was likely the pawn of a certain Southern Border immortal zombie. He was a rank 5 peak stage Gu master. He had once left behind his inheritance on Mu Bei Mountain, causing the rise of an enslavement path Gu master, Ding Hao. But Ding Hao had been killed by Fang Yuan in this life. In my previous life, Ding Hao sacrificed himself to save the life of his master, Second Zombie King. If Second Zombie King encounters a mishap this time, who would save him? Fang Yuan was curious. Conflict in the Etian Mountain battle continued raging, but Fang Yuan was met with difficulty in deducing the immortal aperture sealing method. He was stuck at a certain point. He had to make use of the foundation of others to rapidly get past it. Otherwise, with just his own deductions, he would need 17 to 18 years. Fang Yuan sought help from Blazing Heaven Demonis. Blazing Heaven Demonis had part of an inheritance of old immortal Kong Ju. It was enough for Fang Yuan to get through this. But Blazing Heaven Demonis made use of the chance, asking to borrow Fang Yuan's immortal killer move, vaguely familiar face. Blazing Heaven Demonis, He Lulan, and Fairy Li Shan all wanted to get a share of the action. But the Southern Border Gu Immortals were working together in this gambling contest. They could not interfere. They were Northern Plains Gu Immortals. Once they showed up, the Southern Border Gu Immortals would jointly assault them. Right now, In the 5 regions, southern border was the least welcoming to outsiders. Eastern Sea was the most open, followed by central continent. Thus, if He Lu Lan and the others wanted to interfere, they would need Fang Yuan's vaguely familiar face. Fang Yuan was unwilling to lend it. Of course, lending the Immortal Killer move was different from lending Immortal Goo. Once the Immortal Killer move was lent out, the secrets in it would be learned by other Goo Immortals. They would know its weaknesses and could easily develop ways to counter this Immortal Killer move. But Fang Yuan did not have other options and could only agree to it. He lent vaguely familiar face, but he obtained Blazing Heaven Demonist partial inheritance of old Immortal Kong Ju. Even though he paid a huge price, he got his reward rapidly. Getting past the point he was stuck, his speed in deducing the method rose again. It was smooth sailing.